this was a Friday night game or a Saturday game or a Sunday game or even a Monday game, I think I'd have a separate video up regarding Kane Corns' comments on Scott Pendlebury being managed. I am recording this on Tuesday afternoon, 1 o'clock during my lunch break. The confirmation recently is Scott Pendlebury is out due to leather poisoning, or lesser extent, just being managed. But thank you, Collingwood social media team. We're finally getting involved in the fun and games and whatnot. But Scott Pendlebury being managed, Kane Corns, I don't think he's too happy about this one. So we'll need his tick of approval for when Pendlebury returns. But this was expected, not even just recently, but this was expected at the start of the season. You look at the calendar, you look at the fixture, a 5 day break from Anzac Day heading into Hawthorn. Hawthorn, of all teams, a team that does not like Collingwood. So this was penciled in already about Pendlebury being managed for Hawthorn. 38 years old, 5 day break, fuck off. We are not doing this shit. It's an 18 team competition. I don't like this sort of fixturing, but it is what it is. We have to prepare for this, and we're prepared for this as best we can. Pendlebury being managed, and I wouldn't be surprised if Pendlebury's not the only one being managed for this one. Jeremy Howe, Tim Membry, maybe Jamie Elliott all being managed. I wouldn't expect Darcy Cameron to be managed. We need him for this sort of game. So there's a few or a handful of changes to be expected for this, up to 5, I reckon. I wouldn't expect it to be a wholesale changes for this game. Ned Long was managed for Anzac Day. He should be cherry ripe for this game against Hawthorn. He will likely replace Scott Pendlebury. Darcy Moore expected to return against Hawthorn a little bit earlier than expected, but that's good to see. Hopefully, Darcy Moore gets through this game unscathed. And a few other selection speculations as well. Jack Buller or Charlie West coming in for Tim Membry, and maybe a return for Harvey Harrison to galvanise the group. There's possibly Ed Allen in and out, in and out, in and out of the side, but he had a very good game in the VFL. He deserves another call up, hopefully some more midfield minutes. But here we are, round 8, Collingwood 4 wins, 3 losses in wildcard purgatory. Hawthorn 6 wins, 1 loss. Off top spot due to percentage, but they're on a 6 game win streak. We're coming off a 5 day break. They're coming off a 5 day break as well. And Hawthorn, they are in the premiership mix. We are a few levels below, but this game here against Hawthorn is the perfect opportunity for Collingwood to show that we are not a few steps below. We have improved. We can respond, and most importantly, we can take a big skull. But my opinion of this game against Hawthorn, and this will likely be delusional, is I think they're gettable. I genuinely believe Hawthorn is gettable for this game. I just have this gut feeling, this hunch. Hawthorn 6-1, Sydney 6-1, Freo 6-1. Surely one of these sides lose this weekend. Freo's got the Bulldogs Friday night at Marvel Stadium. The Dogs are hampered with injuries. Sydney are hosting Melbourne at the SCG on a Sunday. Possibly gettable there by Melbourne standards, and we're taking on Hawthorn. Hawthorn is a bogey side, I know, but they're also coming off a 5 day break. I've just got this hunch. One of Sydney, Freo, and Hawthorn lose this week, and I think Collingwood has the perfect opportunity to get Hawthorn. But I think this is a perfect opportunity early on. The next 3 games are crucial, but this is the perfect step in showing everyone that we're not just a wild card team at best, we're a wild card team at worst. Put ourselves smack bang in wild card purgatory, or possibly top 6, top 8, and then with a decent fixture after round 10, we can push on and make a claim for top 6 and possibly top 4, depending on percentage and obviously winning those 8 point games. But it starts here, Thursday night against Hawthorn. The overall recent history with Hawthorn, yes, we lead the overall head-to-head, 101 wins and 72 losses. But since the start of 2012, our prelim final win over them in 2011, the 18-team competition, Hawthorn has won 16 of the past 21 clashes against us, and they have not recorded any losing streak over Collingwood in that time. So we haven't won 2 in a row over them since 2011. The last time we've beaten Hawthorn twice in a season was 2011, and the last time we beat Hawthorn twice in the home and away season was 2006. So we take on Hawthorn twice in the home and away season. We could possibly face Hawthorn a 3rd time in finals, but that's all I watch this space. Yeah, they are a bogey side. Now, I'm not too sure if this stat is overly correct, but regarding Thursday night games, Hawthorn have a pretty good record on Thursday nights. 10 wins, 3 losses from what I could tell on AFL tables. Collingwood 12 wins, 16 losses and a draw. So another, I guess, stat to factor in regarding this Thursday night clash with Hawthorn. The last time we played Hawthorn it was the worst performance in 2025 for us. We lost by 64 points, 110 to 46. That was also a Thursday night game. Side bottoms 350th, Perryman's 150th, and Jeremy Howe getting knocked out in the first minute of this game. And in the last 6 clashes against Hawthorn, someone at Collingwood gets injured. So it is a bogey side for a reason, not just in regards to the win loss in recent history, but also with our injuries against Hawthorn. I have no idea why we're cursed against Hawthorn, but I have the list of players being injured against Hawthorn. So it goes back to 2022, Reef McInnes dislocating his right shoulder, out for the season. Pre-season, I'll throw this in as well. Patrick Lipinski dislocating his left shoulder, out for 3 months. He returned on King's birthday in 2023. And then we can't forget 2023, the game that Hawthorn caused the biggest upset of 2023. Nick Dacos injures his right knee, out for 6 weeks, returns in the prelim final, but more importantly, misses out on a Brownlow medal in his second AFL season. Nathan Murphy also had a right ankle injury, but he was able to not miss any games. Miraculous recovery. I miss Nathan Murphy, but digressing. Gather round 2024 Pendlebury with the ribs injury, subbed out, but thankfully didn't miss any games or any time off. Round 19, Hawthorn's 11-goal win over us. Nathan Kruger with concussion. He was out due to protocols, but never played again for us. Round 12, our best win of the season, 51 points over Hawthorn, but Lipinski, concussion, and Lockie Schultz with a right hamstring injury, but we had the game sewn up at the time. And the last time we played Hawthorn, Jeremy Howe knocked out concussion protocols. First game back, gets knocked out straight away, which was very unfortunate. But I mentioned the injury list. I just hope that there's no injuries to come out of this game against Hawthorn. But is it a trade-off? Do we win this game, but someone gets injured? Or we get through this game unscathed, but we lose this game? It's an interesting trade-off. I don't want to lose this game, get pumped, and then we have a massive injury crisis from it. It's Hawthorn. They don't like us. They are our bogey side. We are trying to even the ledger. Maybe it's a turning point against Hawthorn, but it's wishful thinking. We are taking on Hawthorn again later in the season, the second last round of the home and away season. And yeah, we are managing Pendlebury. We'll likely manage a few other players as well. There'll be pundits, fans, they'll say we are being selfish, managing these players to records and whatnot, or we are pissing away 4 premiership points. There's a long-term strategy for this one. It's a 5-day break. It's Hawthorn. Who knows? Who knows who steps up? Who knows who takes over? Who knows if Hawthorn's going to come out guns blazing? Again, I do think Hawthorn's a gettable side in this game. And comparing the pair, Hawthorn, they're the second best team for points for, and they're the sixth best team for points against. We are a better side defensively, but our attacking game still needs to improve. We showed that against Carlton in the final quarter and also the second half against Essendon. But can we display a good dominant attacking game against a team like Hawthorn, a team like Geelong, a team like Sydney? We're going to find out what Collingwood's made of in the next few weeks. But Hawthorn, they're third in disposals, seventh in contested possessions. They're number one in hitouts. That's a massive point of difference for this game against Hawthorn. They're third for clearances, second in stoppages, but also 16th in centre clearances. So that's an area to exploit them in. They're third in tackles, fourth in marks, first in contested marks. They are a tall side. Seventh for inside 50s, fifth for marks inside 50. They're first for tackles inside 50. Their pressure is immense up forward. Fifth for intercepts, and they turn it over the second least, so 17th in the competition for turnovers. And their efficiency inside 50 is spot on. They're third for goal efficiency, third for disposal efficiency. The only weaknesses from the stats and the compare the pair is their inaccuracy in front of goal and centre clearances. So can we exploit Hawthorn for rebound 50s or their inaccuracy in front of goal, and also for centre clearances? We've got Oscar Steen in the ruck, Darcy Cameron in the ruck. Can they get on top of Lloyd Meek and Ned Reeves in the ruck? We need to treat Hawthorn's midfield with respect. They are a star midfielder away from really dominating the competition, but they need to be given their due diligence, their flowers, their respect right now. They are in the top 3 for a reason, not just in the midfield, by the way, but they are a strong midfield right now. But their back line is the most solid, in my opinion, in the competition. Geelong, I think, has the most adjustable back line, and Sydney has the most attacking back line, if that makes sense. But it is a recipe for disaster against a team like Hawthorn, who can exploit us and make us pay if we don't address our areas of improvements. Yes, we're showing signs of life and improvement against teams like Carlton and Essendon, but you can also say it's against Carlton and Essendon. Again, I did say in my last video talking about Scott Pendlebury and also in the review of our Anzac Day win The next three games, if we win one of the next two, it can set up or plant the seeds for a good push into the middle part of the season. If we can somehow scrape two of the next three wins, then we're in a good position to put ourselves into a wild card round at worst position. And if we can somehow win three games against Hawthorn, Geelong, and Sydney, then top six, and hey, we're in the mix yet again. But that is wishful thinking. But if we lose the next three, yeah, they're good sides, but we lose the next three, it's pretty clear we are a few tiers below the absolute best. We can't challenge, we can't take a big scalp. We do need to take a big scalp. 4 wins, I know. St Kilda, an injured Giants squad, Carlton, and Essendon. They're not teams moving the needle right now, but we need that big scalp, and Hawthorn presents a perfect opportunity for that. And just with the keys to victory, most of it is more of a defensive mindset, more of a don't do this, don't do that, but hear me out. First key to victory is to get on top of Hawthorn's midfield and win the ruck battles. So Oscar Steen, Darcy Cameron up against Lloyd Meek and Ned Reeves. I think Steen and Reeves is going to be a good battle in the centre clearances or the CBAs. Darcy Cameron doesn't play well against Lloyd Meek, so that's a bit of an interesting point to look out for there. Our midfield has more depth. Nick Dacos, Jordan De Goey, McCreary, Angus Anderson, one of Ned Long. I was going to say Pendlebury, but Pendlebury's out, so Ned Long will likely come in. You got guys like Crisp, maybe Sidebottom, maybe Ed Allen as well. So there is some variety there. Hawthorn will prepare their best for Oscar Steen. Oscar Steen is showing quick adjustments in the ruck as well. He showed that in the second half against Essendon. So he's not just a one-trick pony, and we need Oscar Steen at his absolute best, not serviceable, but at his absolute best against Hawthorn here. And up against Hawthorn's midfield of Jai Newcomb, Connor Nash, Ward, McKenzie, and some X Factor players in McDonald, Watson, Ginnivan in the midfield at times, and who knows who runs through the midfield for Hawthorn. But this is a big area for Collingwood to exploit Hawthorn in and try and win the game off. The centre ball ups and the ruck battle around the ground will go a long way for Collingwood causing an upset win here. The second key to victory, it's another inside 50 sort of key point or keys to victory, is for us to not panic heading inside 50. I don't expect us to be absolutely dominant heading inside 50. I wouldn't be surprised if it's less than 50% efficiency inside 50. Hawthorn has a solid back line, but we need to be quick in firing inside 50 and more direct as well. But just don't panic. We can't bomb it long. Hawthorn's going to have a field day if we just bomb it long, pick and hope inside 50. We can't be doing that. Third key to victory is not allowing Hawthorn to have any quick transition or quick switching or any corridor use. They use the corridor pretty good and they can switch it up pretty quickly as well. So for us, we need to be disciplined in setting up defensively, kind of like how we did against Hawthorn round 12, where we were able to force Hawthorn to turn it over with a long kick forward. We turn it over, or we cause the turnover, and we're able to make Hawthorn pay on quick transition. We can't allow the opposite to occur. That's what they did against us in round 22, that 64-point win. So that's going to be an interesting battle. Hawthorn's going to try their best to set up defensively quickly, and we need to be quick on our feet as well with that transition and use the corridor. Who's going to blink? Who's going to be inefficient using the corridor? Who's going to blink? Who's going to be scared? Who's going to be whatever? That's going to be a big key to victory there. And the last one is for us to not be exposed for height down back and also not be exposed for speed down back, because Nick Watson is going to be an absolute gem for them in the future and just for his entire career. We can't allow Watson, Ginnivan, McDonald to exploit us. And we can't allow guys like Gunston and Mitch Lewis to dominate in the air as well. We are a good defensive side, but Hawthorn's a very good attacking side. So it's another battle of who's going to blink, our back line or their forward line. I do think Hawthorn's forward line is due for a bad game. I did say that with Essendon, with their efficiency inside 50. They were due for a bad game and they had a bad game. So maybe it's my curse to put on Hawthorn. They are due for a bad game for efficiency up forward and also just an overall forward line game to have a bad game and for our back line to stand up when it matters. But this sort of game against Hawthorn is set up perfectly for us. We are the underdogs, backs against the wall, even though we're on a 2-game winning streak and we are setting ourselves up for a decent push heading into the middle part of the season. If we can just scrape an upset win over Hawthorn, it's going to go a long way for us setting up our season, putting ourselves again in that wildcard purgatory, but pushing off that wildcard spot into top 6. Otherwise, next 3 games, if we're not showing much fight or hunger or effort to win the game, then we put ourselves in that 9, 10, 11, 12th spot, maybe bottom 6 if it's 3 bad losses. and then we're trying to scrape ourselves back into that contention. But this is the perfect opportunity. I keep saying that, sound like a broken record, to put ourselves in a spot where we can challenge the top six. We can show the competition, we can take some scalps and put ourselves in a good spot heading into the latter part of the season. But I'll have the team selections, final word video up on Wednesday night. I think they'll be more clearer in terms of team selections, who's in, who's out, who's managed. Debut, maybe not debuts, but maybe a return for Harvey Harrison, Ed Allen back into the side, Ned Long. Maybe Charlie West plays his second AFL game, and it's a solid sort of matchup for him to step up in. But that's all to watch this space. I'm rambling on. I'll leave you guys all to it. I hope you guys have a good week. Please be well, please be safe, and I'll see you guys Wednesday night for the team selections final word video. Up the pies.